day, and there was this one. Winnie never in my video. Say hi, Win. And today I'm with my dad because we were doing awesome. Not awesome. We were doing an interesting helpful educational storytime about facility benefits and immigration services. So if you don't want to hear about it, you can leave the video right now and come back next week for another video. But anyway, without further ado, let's get right into it. So basically, how much you may know, although I know I have a lot of new viewers, so welcome everybody. I was adopted from the Ukraine in 2001. Yeah, before I think it was. But anyway, I was adopted from the Ukraine, and I was not in the system as a U.S. citizen, even though I was one at birth. So then, when I applied for Social Security disability, which, if you may don't know what it is, I'm a dad to explain that real fast.
Yeah, so once you turn 18, you're an adult. If you're disabled, according to the way Social Security defines it, then you can get benefits from Social Security, you know, some income and eligibility for, you know, Medicaid and some other things happen. So once you turned 18, it was time to go apply for Social Security. And so you want to continue, or you want, go ahead if you want.
When I went to security, they could not complete my application because I was not a citizen of the United States in the computer system, which kind of blew.
It blew.
It really
stopped
blew.
us in our tracks.
And then so we had to submit a bunch of paperwork from the USCIS, which I will put a definition of it here.
Yep. It's the Immigration Services.
Yep, I will put it here for anyone who wants to read what it is. So then, well, I'm done here.
Okay, so we had to go. We had to get it changed in the system that she was a U.S. citizen, and that was not so easy. We had to go to the Immigration Services, and they said you have to fill out an N-800, I think it was. 600. That is a application for a certificate of citizenship, and so that there was a $1,100 fee to apply for it.
But you can do that way if you ask for a waiver.
If you have real financial hardship, you can potentially get that waived, but we unfortunately couldn't. So we had to pay $1,100, and then we go into the black hole, and it's really tough because you apply, and when we applied earlier last year, February.
I mean, more basically, you have to wait until you're 18.
Right.
But you're that you did not do any.
Yep. So March we applied for this thing, and at that time you could call down or go online and make an appointment to go see them to check how the status was and all that. So we would.
You need the info pass.
Info pass?
Yeah.
Is that an online account?
Yeah. That's the appointment making.
Oh yeah, appointment making.
Who my USCIS.
My USCIS, right? But so at that time we were able to do that, and we'd follow up, go down there and follow up, and it was just things were not moving fast at all. And when you call the 800 number, that's the national number, you get a really generic. Or if you go online and check, it's just they can give you status up until the point where they processed it, and it goes to the local office where you live. And so our application at some point had gotten to the local office, and once that happens, the national people and the website have no idea what the status is. So they just say, check with the local office. The problem is you can't call the local office and talk to anybody. And as of now, at least in our state,
the number on the plate a national number.
Yeah, it's a national number. So we were able to make an appointment, go to the local place once maybe to check status, maybe twice.
Yeah.
And they kept promising us that it was going to get done soon, but the person that we met with first, then she retired. And I think that they really, the people were super nice. We were really surprised how awesome they were. But I think it's really tough because they just have lots of cutbacks and staffing
And
problems.
a lot of people are trying to apply and who may not have been in that book.
Yeah, so there's just they have just too much to do and they can't keep up with all the papers. So it can take 10 or 11 months normally to do this, and we obviously didn't want to do that.
Year.
Yeah, so we didn't have that much time because she was going to get denied for Social Security benefits. So we pressed, but pretty soon they changed the rule and they said no one can make appointments anymore, and that happened in the summer. In our state. Now that may not be true everywhere, but if your state doesn't allow it, it's really tough because you can't call them, you can't make an appointment, you really can't do anything. And so we were really stuck, and we got promised twice that it was going to be done like the next week, but that was this summer. So months were passing, and it was this fall, and then it was winter, and finally what I started to do is just go down there and show up, which they don't like. The security guard started to kick me out because I didn't have an appointment, and I just tried to, be really nice to her and tell her our story and all that, and I got lucky, and one of the people behind the counter kind of waved me over. We had a discussion, and she said, "Okay, we'll take care of it. It's we're catching up on these forms," and she said she's going to do it the next week for sure, and that was October, November.
And then mail the medal. They have paid, we'll mail a medal.
Yeah, we'll mail the letter, it'll all be done. So we thought it was like Charlie Brown in the football, so I took another swing at the football and missed. And it didn't happen again. And so finally, now that I knew the security guard, I just showed up there again like 2 weeks ago. And she said, well, during the holidays it won't be that busy if you want to try to come then. So then Ann and I went down last Thursday. And we were able to get in and talk to somebody, and they were able to go and get the director, and the director reviewed it right on the spot and approved her. Because she was kind of already approved.
Usually you have a supervisor.
Yeah, usually it's a supervisor, but she was able to go get the director, because Anna was actually approved, but then it had to be approved by a supervisor too, which is some new rule.
But the supervisor was out of town.
And they were out of town, but she was nice enough to go get this done. Finally we got it done. But it took 10 months. It was pretty rough, but the only advice I could give is if your state allows appointments, you can continue to make appointments. That's great. If they don't, you either wait, because eventually it'll get done, or if you want to press like we did, just kind of show up there and try to be really nice to everybody and give them your sob story and see if you can make it happen faster. So
another piece of advice I had was, if you've been adopted from wherever, and out of the U.S., I would call ahead of time for security or
the immigration.
Or immigration, and hey, am I a citizen in your system?
Yeah.
That way you know if you need to do this process or not, because we didn't know.
That's a really good point, because we waited till she was 18 because we had no idea it was going to happen, but if you're under 18 and you're anticipating applying for Social Security disability, go find out when you're 16 or 17, call and say, either like she said, Social Security or immigration, say, can you check in the system and make sure that I show as a citizen? Because if you were adopted like Anna was around that time, the law changed at some point. I forgot what year it was.
And I will try and find
yeah, we've got that little piece of paper. You could put a picture of that piece of paper, because it says the law as of a certain date. And I think it was maybe late 90s or somewhere around year 2000. That law went into effect that said if you're adopted from another country by U.S. citizens or at least one U.S. citizen parent, then you're automatically a citizen at that moment of adoption or the moment you come to the country. And so if you're in that situation, by all means, call and find out if you're in the system way before you turn 18, because if you're not, you can start this process early and you won't lose time. That way when you turn 18, you go
you don't have
get it
to
approved.
wait. Meaning your citizenship, you don't have to be 18 to do that.
Right.
So that one step that you can take
Yep.
in advance.
Yep.
Wait, Winnie.
That's all. Hi, 4.
Oh, hey, Winnie. Follow me on all other social media. Me in the description. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, be comment down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!
Bye. See you later.